friends. It's Adrienne here. Welcome to Tryllacraft. Oh, it's been a couple weeks. I think it's been almost 3 weeks since I last recorded. They've been really busy weeks. I went back to work after my vacation, and sometimes taking vacation is more work than it's worth. Came back to just a banana crazy pants work. I was putting in 10, 14-hour days, most days, for the first 2 weeks, and then this past week hasn't been as bad, but tired. So today, actually, we are recording at 7:30 in the morning. Is the first day of my next vacation, so I have 10 days off, which is going to be lovely, which will be another staycation. I'm not going anywhere. I was supposed to go away to a cottage, but that has been canceled due to our desire to protect one another and be safe and follow the guidelines and all that sort of stuff. So no cottage for me this year, another staycation, which is fine. I like my house, so that works out well. So there'll be lots of knitting. So I figured I'd kind of catch you up on the last 3 weeks before I start my mad knitting session again. What else is new? I got to visit my dad for the first time. I have not seen him since last November. He lives about 2.5, 3 hours away, and he's ill. He has cancer and is getting chemo treatments at the moment, and my brother, who lives with him, has COPD, so it's a very tightly controlled household. And I finally found a time. I looked at my schedule and was like, once school starts again in September, again, totally crazy pants, can't. We'll be so busy with work, won't really have the time to go. So it just worked out that I had basically self-quarantined for 14 days, so I knew I was safe to visit for his sake. So I drove down one afternoon and sat on the deck and had drinks with my family, and then we had dinner on the deck, and yeah, I got to visit for a few hours. It was really, really nice to see him. And then I drove home. So it was a very whirlwind trip, but it was good. It was worth the drive, every second of it, so that was really good. Other than that, I don't have anything else to do. I'm at home, working, or sleeping. Sometimes knitting. That's really all I do. But I've been busy, so I have lots to show you today. Lots to show you. And I might have gotten into some more trouble. Because, so that's what I do. Where should we start? I just have like this array on the couch beside me. Let's start with finishes. I have a pair. Yay! So this is the Intelligent Eagle by Timber Yarns. See the entire sock. There you go. Hello. Yeah, I love this pair. I'm a total Harry Potter fan, and I'm an absolute Ravenclaw. That is who I am. And I absolutely adore the fact that I have Ravenclaw socks now. They look great. I'm super excited with them. Yay! So this is my 9th finished pair this year. Plus, I don't know how many singles. But, yeah. 9 finished pairs. So I'm ahead of schedule by about a month, so that's good. So, yeah. See if we can keep up the good work and get another 12 done this year. Maybe more. Who knows? Anyway, super excited about these. Alright, so last episode I did that sock parade, and this particular pair did not make me happy. In that I thought I had started a second sock, and apparently I did not. So this is my Vivid Yarn. We're just not going to be able to read that today. Vivid Yarn Studio. So a dyer out in Alberta. This is her tweed base, white tweed base in the colorway Dolphin. There we go. So I do have a sock finished. Nice sock. And so once I realized I hadn't cast on, I thought I had. I was mortified last week. Well, for lots of reasons. But anyway, yeah, so I haven't cast it on. So I have another sock waiting in the wings, ready to rock and roll. So I have my many socks in two fabric crates. I don't know what else to call them. And so I divvied them up. So one pile is ready for second socks, and the other pile is like first socks. And so I have way more in the first socks category than I do in the second socks category. So I feel good about being able to put this into the second sock category. So I can, anytime I'm like, oh, I need to crank out another pair, I can just grab a second sock, and I'm only one sock away. So that'll be good. So, yes. I don't remember what order I cast everything on in, because there were a few cast-ons. So, look, buffalo plaid. It's a Knit's Best Thing bag. I love me some buffalo plaid. So this was a funny one. Do you remember me telling you that I have emergency needles? You know, just in case something comes up where I must cast it on. I was digging through some other projects, and I'll talk about those in a few minutes, but I found some yarn, like an entire brand new skein of caked up yarn that I hadn't touched, or if I had, it would have been like, you know, 2 or 3 grams. Don't ask me why. And it's one of my favorite colorways by one of my favorite yarn dyers, and I'm like, why is it sitting in a bag not doing anything? I'm like, I should do something with it. So I grabbed it. So this is Hazel Knits in her Artisan Sock Base, and the colorway Tastes Like Purple. For those of you who have watched the Fiber Friends, I knit my miso out of this colorway. So I absolutely love it. Love it, love it, love it. It's a fabulous color. And so I've paired it with there we go. I need another hand, that's what I need. I've paired it with this little blobby of stuff that I have. So this was a colorway that I used in my Find Your Fade. And so this is by, oh, that's totally gonna be blowy outy. The Yarn Enabler. How would I read it to you? It's by the Yarn Enabler, and it's in the colorway It Just Happened. So when you put them together, what you end up getting is this. Now, doesn't that look awesome? So apparently I'm gonna go from having no solid sock colors in my stash, or in my, not my stash, in my sock drawer, to having like 4 or 5 of them. But that's okay. I am loving this colorway together. I'm super, super excited. So yeah, it's high on my to knit list. Keep in mind, pretty much everything's high on my to knit list. So, you know, whatever. I have no idea when I'll get it done. But I'm really, really happy about being able to make a pair of socks out of this colorway. So that'll be great. I'm just grabbing bags. I don't even know what's in them. Ah. So last time I got some yarn. The last episode I got some yarn from Sea Turtle Fiber Arts. And in this is last episode, the episode before, I can't even tell anymore. So I was holding on to a pair of needles just so I could cast this on. This is called Feisty by Sea Turtle Fiber Arts. So it's got awesome, like a tonal gray with this multicolor stripe and the turquoise, which is just, wah, super bright. I'm loving it. I'm so excited. Really, really great yarn. So yeah. Surprise, another pair of socks. I know. I'm a little predictable. So lots and lots of socks. So yeah, I cast on 3 new socks. Hooray. And I'll show you what I'm currently working on. This one's been in my hands a fair amount in the last couple days. This is one of my lovely Evertote bags. So this is Summer Lovin' by Knitterly Things. So I will be putting in an afterthought heel right there. But I'm just knitting the tube right now, so I'm about halfway down, 3/4 of the way down the foot. So I just have another, I don't know, 20, 25 rows, maybe not even that much. And then the toe, and then I don't know if I'll put the heel in right away, only because I will probably have to chop yarn in order to get to the colorway that I want to make the heel, the bullseye heel that I want. So depending on where it ends, if it makes more sense to just start the sock, the second sock, then I'll do that. If it makes more sense to do the heel, I'll do the heel. I don't know, don't care. I'm just excited. It is so bright, so fun. I love it. These are gonna be fabulous on my feet, eventually. So yeah, so that's all my socks. That's a lot of socks. That's not a lot of socks for me. Who am I kidding? But loving it. But then I had a little bit of cast-on-itis. So if you follow me on Instagram at all, you would have seen that I frogged a project. It's not something I normally do. I'm not a big frogger. But I had pulled out a blanket project that you had seen when I did my blanket parade, and it was I had started the Northeasterly, and I had about this much done. Like, it was a pathetic amount. And I really loved the yarn, and I was like, I'm never gonna knit that. Like, conceptually, I love that blanket. I love the chevron pattern. I think it's gorgeous. I just didn't enjoy knitting it. So I wasn't gonna get anywhere. Ever. So I pulled out that yarn and I recast on. Except while I was doing that, I was kind of digging through a lot of my blankets and decided that maybe I should really have a think about my scrappy, because I'm not really a scrappy blanket kind of person. It's not kind of how I roll. And I had pulled out my Cozy Memories blanket, which is, yeah, this big, not awesome. And I hate it. I hate knitting it. I don't enjoy it at all. There's nothing about this blanket that I like. I hate the picking up. I hate the mitered squares. I just don't enjoy it. So I'm throwing it out. I don't care. Out it goes. It's not worth ripping out. Screw it. Throwing it out. So what I did was I took the yarns that I was kind of had on the go and ready to go for the Northeasterly, and some of the yarns from I was getting ready to put into my Cozy Memories, and decided to do something totally different. So when I knit a pair of socks, out of 100 gram skein, I probably used 55, maybe 60 grams. Like, there's still a lot of yarn left. It always looks like a lot of yarn. And so what I decided was I need a pattern that would allow me to use more than just a 5 or 10 gram skein of yarn. I needed to be able to use a chunk of yarn. So what I found was a pattern called Patchwork Triangles. I don't remember who it's by. I'll put it down here. And it's awesome. It's all short rows, German short. So I learned how to do German short rows, which is great. So started it. So I'll put in a picture here so you can see what it looks like in the scrappy version. I'm doing scrappy on a larger scale. So instead of doing each triangle a different yarn, I'm going to do a whole square in the same yarn. So here I've only finished a quarter of a square, but all the triangles are little short rows. It's super fun. I actually really enjoyed, I really enjoyed knitting this. And so compared to how far I got on the Northeasterly in like 2 years, I've already like doubled or tripled it. So that's good. I'm making progress. And so these squares will be, this is a quarter, you know, it's probably going to be 9-10 inches square. And then eventually I'll join all those together. So it'll still be a scrappy blanket, but they'll just be bigger scraps. So yeah, I'm really excited about that. So this colorway, oh, that's little beauty, is called South Beach by Miss Babs Yarn. And then my next one I'll be doing is going to be this. This is another Vivid Yarn colorway, I think. Oh, no. Yes, it is. I'm not a liar, pants. Vivid Yarns, colorway called Snapdragon. I did one of my earlier pairs of shorty socks was in this colorway. I love it. It's really fun. So yeah, so I'm just going to knit a bunch of these squares, and then eventually I'll knit them all together, and it'll be a lovely fingering weight blanket. So it's funny. It almost looks like a mitered square because it does have that centered, that line down it, but you don't knit it like a mitered square, so I don't hate it. So I think it'll have some really lovely personality. And yeah, I'm really excited about this one. So I had tons of fun knitting those two triangles, and then I went and put it down because I had to cast on something else. But just looking at it again gets me excited because I'm like, oh, I forgot how much I enjoyed knitting that. And then I cast on this one. So I had been looking on there's a store in the States called Simply Sock Yarn Company, and they're mostly a distributor, online distributor, seller of yarn. Have lots and lots of great yarn. I've ordered from them on multiple occasions. And so I follow her blog, and she was showing this scarf that she was knitting. It was a super simple scarf. And so I went and looked up the pattern. It's called the multi-directional diagonal scarf. And if I had just seen the pattern, it would never have crossed my mind to have knit it, because they had done it in like this, I think they'd done it in Noro, so it was all like crazy stripey and kind of weird. And Noro, as you know, is lovely and beautiful, but can throw in some weird color combos and not always my thing. But the person whose blog I'd seen had picked, it was either Mad Tosh or Malabrigo, but a nice variegated yarn, and they were knitting it in that, and it looked gorgeous. And so I hummed and hawed about casting on, but then I said screw it, so I cast on. So I am this far. I forgot worsted yarn knits up so fast. I haven't knit with the worsted in a while. I'm like, whoa, this is fun. So yeah, so it's just this, and so it's not terribly wide, but not terribly narrow, and yeah, all about the short rows. I've been using more and more short rows. I'm like, got a theme going. Go me in the short rows. So the yarn is by Leo and Roxy. It's called Unicorn Burps. So it's mostly just blue and purple with little hints of green every once in a while. Little flecks of it. But it's awesome. I'm loving knitting it. It's really enjoyable. Knits really fast. And so soft and squishy. I don't knit with 100% merino very often because I mostly knit socks, which always has nylon in it. And yeah, I really love this. So yeah, so I have 2 skeins of worsted, so I'm just going to knit basically until I run out of yarn. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. So yeah. Whew, cast on-itis. See, the worst, I don't know what the worst thing, but the ridiculous thing is that when I went through my whip parade a couple episodes ago, I was like, I need to finish stuff. I was super gung-ho. And I haven't finished anything. I've just cast on more things. So I really think I have cast-on-itis. That's a serious disease for me. All right, last thing I cast on right now. My fringe field bag. I was kind of bummed to hear that they've decided to close shop. But anyway, so if you remember a couple weeks ago, I showed you that incredibly orange yarn that is intended to be a hat for my niece. And I cast it on. Like, it blows out the screen. Look how ridiculously orange this is. It is so orange. So yeah, I haven't really gotten that far, but it is 2x2 rib, which is not my favorite, and I have to do like 4 or 5 inches of it. But anyway, it'll be fine. The yarn itself is really nice. It feels lovely. It's Leo and Roxy. This is creamsicle. And yeah, this will be slow progress because 2x2 rib and orange. So not high on my list of things to be knitting, but I do like my niece, so I will do that for her. She's lucky I love her. Lucky I love her. But yeah, so that's good. So, whew, that's a lot of starts. A lot of starts. There's still stuff to talk about, because you know me. Okay, new section. I've never done this before. Plans starts. So, my friend Noelle from Knits and Pieces is a phenomenally fast knitter. She knits beautiful, beautiful things. And she posts them on Instagram at rapid fire pace, which always leaves me in awe. And she put up this picture of a shawl, and I went gaga. I haven't been in a shawl knitting mood in ages, but I saw this and I'm like, oh. So it's called Typhoon, and it's by, oh, I can't remember his name. Crap. I meant to look at all this before I started recording, but it's too early in the morning for me to remember anything. So I'll put the name down here. But why it's so special is it uses a main color, and the contrast color uses a self-striping yarn. And it, again, uses short rows to accomplish something very cool. So you end up, I'll put in a picture, so you can see it puts those little stripies in it, and it looks amazing. So I immediately went up to my yarn stash and was like, what can I do? And it turns out that most of my self-striping sock yarn really wants to be socks. I really struggle to be like, no, that needs to be socks. Oh, no, I can't use that one. That needs to be socks. I really want that to be socks. So it took me a long time to find something. But I did find something. So this is what I'm going to make it out of. So the main color is going to be this. So this is Ultraviolet by Sweet Georgia. It's a really dark, dark purple, which I love. And I'm going to pair it. So this is called Breakfast in Bed by Scrumptious Pearl. How beautiful. Blowy outie, there you go. How beautiful are those two together. I'm super excited. You will definitely see these started in the next episode. So yeah. So on the bright side, I'm pulling from stash. I didn't order anything new, so that's great. But yeah, it's another start. That's how I roll. All right, and I did get some acquisitions. So my dad has been asking me for a pair of socks for forever. And I had picked up some yarn to knit him socks last year at Woodstock, something like that. And I'm used to picking up a single skein because that's what I knit my socks in. Not thinking that I had bought worsted yarn for him, that one skein of worsted would not make a man-sized sock or a pair of man-sized socks. I don't know why I'm dumb sometimes, I just am. So that got caked up, and then I realized the yardage, and I'm like, I'm an idiot. So the yarn in particular is special because it's a base that I generally don't see. It's a merino cashmere nylon in a worsted. So once I realized that that was not going to be enough yarn, I hopped on the website of the same indie dyer, who's local to me, which is nice. Her name's Yarn Indulgences, and I ordered 2 skeins in her MCN worsted in the colorway navy. So it'll be pretty tonal, but definitely manly colored. My dad's 87, so he doesn't do pink. Or pretty much any other color than black, green, and navy. Maybe gray, but even that's pushing it. So maybe brown. Very earthy. So yes, so I need to cake these up and cast on socks for my dad. Because, yeah, I don't know how much longer he'll be around. So I want to give him these socks so that he can use them. So I got to get on that. So yeah. And I did buy some other yarn. So this, I fell head over heels yesterday. It just arrived yesterday. I am so excited that I'm so excited about this yarn. Like, I wish I had 2 more pairs of emergency needles because I need to cast them on as soon as possible. So this is a dyer, Lollipop Yarns, and I've known about her and her yarn for years and years and years. One of the first big names in self-striping, I think, probably 10, 12 years ago. And I had just never been able to get any of her yarn. I had missed a handful of updates, or when I had gotten to the update, the stuff that I wanted was sold out, whatnot. But I managed to catch an update the other day, and I was so, like, I got up at 6 a.m. to get to the update. Like, I was committed. Because I saw some stuff that I was really, really excited about. And then it arrived. And it is so, like, it's ridiculously packaged. It almost feels a little too extravagant, but it's so cute, I don't care. So the yarn comes in gobstoppers, but it comes in this nice little gauzy bag. It's so sweet. Lollipop yarns. So I will open these and show them to you. But they're like they're so cute. They were just so adorably put together. So the first one is called Hanging Out. So it's the gray has little pops of the colors in it. So little speckles of purple and green and blue. And then it has a stripe of this gorgeous, gorgeous purple. And then another stripe of the gray. And then it's got a stripe. We got this one right here. That is actually like a gradient. So it has a little bit of purple, but mostly blue and green. Actually, I think these two go together. So it starts purple, turns to that plummy color, and then goes into the blue and green, and then another stripe of gray, and then so it's just super pretty. It's like it's got speckles and a gradient and stripes, and it puts all the loveliness together. And then it comes with a little gobstopper mini. So pretty. So yeah, I'm super excited about that one. This is the reason I went to the trouble to get up at 6 a.m. to catch the update and order it, because I loved that sock I saw, and I was like, I'm in love. And then the other one I got is called Walking on the Wild Side. And it is more of a rainbow, but it's a rainbow that is separated by stripes of gray. But look how bright those colors are. Isn't that awesome? I'm so excited. It's so pretty. So yeah. And it comes with a little gobstopper mini, baby gobstopper. So yeah, super excited about that one as well. They're just lovely. God, I just don't have enough needles. Yes, I know I have 25 pairs of sock needles. Fully aware that I'm ridiculous and that I still want to cast on. I just want to cast everything on. I want to use everything that I have. And I, of course, bring in way more than I knit with. I just can't knit fast enough. And I knit a fair bit. And the funny part is, if I actually just knit on one thing, I would get so much done. But I spread it out over like 8 projects. Not always so bright. Not always so bright. So yeah, lots of knitting for me, lots of yarn, lots of plans, super excited. My knitting always makes me excited, so that's always a good thing. I did a thing. I didn't mean to do a thing, but I did a thing. I don't have a lot of willpower sometimes, and I get enticed into doing things I probably shouldn't. And on a whim, I saw an advertisement on Instagram for some paint by numbers kits, and so I bought a couple, and then I bought a couple more, and then I bought a couple more. So I have 8 of these in my house, and I have 4 more on the way, and so I started one. And I'll put in a couple pictures here to show you my progress. But there's my painting. Up close it looks like crap, but from farther away, it doesn't look too bad. So I've been letting it dry for the last 2 days. I just finished it. So this kit in particular, it comes pre-framed, so it's already on a wooden frame. And it comes with all the paint, it comes with varnish, it comes with all the little things on the back that you need to hang it with, all the hooks and all that sort of stuff, so you can string up your art and hang it. It comes with varnish. It comes with a level, so you can make sure your picture hangs straight. It's hilarious. So I still need to varnish this one, so that's what I'll be doing this weekend. But yeah, I'm really excited about it. So this was a two-star complexity. So, you know, it's a little fiddly, and there's some tiny little spots down here and whatnot, but it was fine. It was no big deal. I managed it pretty well. It took me way longer than I thought. Like, it took me like 3 weeks to paint, because I had to paint one color and then let it dry and whatever. Anyway, it took me a while, but it was good. It was, you know, I can't sit and do it for more than about half an hour at a time, so it was a nice break. I don't know what I'm breaking from, but anyway, I really enjoyed doing it. But then I pulled out the next one that I was going to do, and that's a 3-star complexity. Oh my god. What a difference. This one was so easy compared to the next one I'm looking at. Like, I haven't touched it in days because that scares me. It's got lots and lots and lots of little spots. Lots of details. It's kind of crazy. But that's okay. Considering I won't be leaving my house much for the next, 4 to 6 months. I have lots to do. So I'm going to need stuff to keep me busy in the winter time so I don't go crazy. Although, for the next 4 months, I have so much work to do between my regular job and all my teaching jobs and all the other work that I do. Yeah, it's going to be a little crazy. But yeah, so now I'm doing paint by numbers because, I needed something else to do. I don't know what's wrong with me. But yeah, look at that. That's Holy Knitting Crazy Pants. I'm really excited. I haven't cast on anything new that wasn't a sock in quite a while, so casting on new things was really fun. I really enjoyed it. Now I just need to buckle down and knit it. So that's what we're going to work on in the next couple weeks. Except for the new shawl cast on. I maybe finish the sock so I can cast on another sock. I know, I'm terrible. Alright folks, that's it for me today. Lovely to see you. I hope you're well. Stay safe. And keep knitting. Have fun.